Hello everyone. After my last video, I received some blowback, some pushback about telling Hillary Clinton to shut up. Because, she wanted to possibly prosecute and fine or maybe imprison people who spread misinformation. My guess is that's something she doesn't like. So, I thought about it and I thought, you know what? In today's day and age, especially among my liberal friends and relatives, the whole Hispanic culture and group and immigration and everything holds a lot of sway. So I thought maybe I'd do something and lean into that classification. So let me try this again. Señora Clinton, cállate la boca. La minuta de gobierno comienza ahora mismo. Hello Raindrops, welcome back to Government Minute. Minutes that matter. This is Mr. Ray welcoming you to another edition of Government Minute. Thanks for joining us. As always, this video is dedicated to the glory of God who blessed this land. When you listen to people, when you listen to politicians, typical politicians, they will sometimes inadvertently tell you what they really think. Remember Hillary Clinton's saying that Trump supporters were deplorables? The latest comes from John Kerry, currently the climate envoy of President Biden, former Secretary of State under President Barack Obama, former U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, and the 2004 Democratic nominee who lost to George W. Bush. So John Kerry was speaking at a UN conference, always a friend of the United States. John Kerry said the quiet part out loud, the part you're not supposed to say because then people will pick up on it and realize exactly what type of plans the left, the radical left, which is in charge right now, the radical left, what kind of plans they have for us. Now, John Kerry said this. John Kerry said about information. The referees we used to have to determine what's a fact and what isn't a fact, it kind of, has been eviscerated to a certain degree. When we translate that for you, it's not a foreign language, but it means something different than what he said. What it means is, now that we can't control the narrative, now that we don't have all the gateways of information to the public. In other words, now that the internet and social media and other forms of communication is now getting alternate views out, alternate viewpoints out, they can't control the narrative. He goes on to say, and people go, and people self-select where they go for their news and for their information, and then you just get into a vicious cycle. So it's really, really hard, much harder, to build a consensus today than any time in the 45 to 50 years I've been involved in this. Let's take a detour real quick, okay? 45 to 50 years he's been part of this. And how much better has it gotten in 45 to 50 years? How much better? President Trump very skillfully asked Hillary Clinton in the 2016 debates, you've been part of the solution for 30, 40 years. Why haven't you done anything? John Kerry, same question. Let's go back to what John Kerry said. He said, if people go to one source and the one source they go to is sick and, has an agenda and they're putting out disinformation, our First Amendment stands as a major block to the ability to just hammer it out of existence. He just called the First Amendment the right of people to speak, the right of people to have opposing viewpoints, the right of people to speak out against their government and what their government is doing and what government officials are doing. He called it a major block to the ability to just hammer it out of existence. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you, John Kerry? Now, people, Kamala Harris didn't say it, but she believes it. This whole radical left believes it. That we need to do what's best for the people, whether they like it or not. And if that means we have to get rid of the First Amendment to do it, we should. Because we know better than them. We know better than the hoi polloi. We know better than the common man and common woman. So this is what they believe. This is what they believe. Now, have you heard this on MSNBC? Or as Rush Limbaugh used to call it, PMSNBC? Have you heard this on CNN? Have you heard this report on CBS, ABC, NBC? Have you heard it? Have you read it in the New York Times? Heck, have you read it in your local newspaper? Probably not. Because all these people of the mainstream media think alike, and the vast majority think that John Kerry was right. You and I know better, because you learned in Government Minute that the First Amendment is there to protect us from the government. John Kerry and his ilk want to take away our rights so government can have it good. No, that's not how it works, sir. Read the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We tell you what to do, not the other way around. I want you all to think about that and let it help determine how you're going to vote on November 5th. It's very, very important. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you paid attention, because there will be a test at the next election, which is on November 5th. This is Mr. A reminding you that we, the people, there's that phrase from the Constitution, we, the people, are the government. We'll see you next time.